Right, we now have the captain toss. The captain toss and then the start of the game. St. Mark's Western Stars starting lineup. Number 1 in goal, Shade Mark. Number 11, Moran Philip, the captain. Number 4, Leon St. John. Number 16, Mark Elganes. Number 2, Sawan Mark. Number 8, Ryle Alexander. Number 10, Ryan Alexander. Number 9, Christian Julian. Number 17, Kimon Julian. Number 7, Limoy Augustine. Number 19, Karim Kutin. Crown City Strikers, the starting lineup. Number 22, Wavell Benjamin in goal. Number 11, Stephen Whiteman. Number 19, Keno Alexander. Number 23, Courtney Francis. Number 17, DeAndre Smith. Number 7, Rickson Phillip. Number 6, Brady Charles, the captain. Number 3, Tevin Grant. Number 15, Karen Monroe. Number 14, Jose McIntosh. Number 8, Travis Fullerton. Western Stars is coached by Andrew Monroe. St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers is coached by Jelani Glynn. The referees for today's match, Devon Roberts, the referee in the middle. He's ably assisted by AR1, Junior Cyrus, AR2, Clement Alexander, and his fourth official, Akim Benjamin. Match commissioner today, Ricky Aberdeen, and the referee assessor, Richardson.
Good evening and welcome wherever you are on the internet, via your smartphones, your internet devices, to the Partygrenada Cup 2020. We're live at the Kirali James Athletic Stadium for what is the final game in the group stage of this tournament, and it's a winner takes the win of the group in Group A. It's an interesting derby here between the St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers and the Western Stars. To bring you the live commentary is none other than Robert Samuel I and myself, Leslie Smith. An interesting lineup here, Robbie, between these two teams. Some interesting changes in the lineups as well. Maybe we can first have an introspection of the Crown City Strikers, and a noticeable absence from the first 11 here is goalkeeper Joe Max Wildman, who is currently on the bench, and opting to go for Wavell Benjamin in goal at this time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as much they just want to give the keeper a chance to get some minutes behind him. They're already qualified. I don't know. I wouldn't say that they're not taking it as serious, because Wavell is just as good as Joe Max, but it's a chance to expose more players. Players will get a chance to get needed minutes.
And if we look at the Western Stars, we see Lemoy Augustine back in the starting lineup. Any other notable changes you notice, Robbie?
No. But
all we can tell you for sure is that Christian Julian is there. He already has 2 hat-tricks from the first 2 games. He currently leads the goal scoring tally on 6 goals, and he will look to improve on that standing here today. The game has just started. Is the Western Stars versus the Crown City Strikers. The Crown City Strikers in the green, the Western Stars in the maroon and white. And for those of you who are very familiar with the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, the Western Stars, they're defending the goal towards the city end, and the Western Stars defending the goal towards the Cherry Hill end. So in green is the St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers. They are at the top of the table now on 6 points. The Western Stars are also on 6 points. But all we can tell you is that the Crown City Strikers have scored 11 goals and have not conceded any. The Western Stars have scored 10 goals and have conceded 1. So as a matter of goal difference, the Crown City Strikers are on top of the table on 6 points.
A notable exemption for St. Patrick Crown City Strikers is Chad Mark.
Yeah, Chad Mark is actually not in the lineup today. He actually had 2 goals in the competition so far, and he's not been featured in the team lineup today. But all we can tell you is that Brady Charles also has 2 goals, and he has scored those 2 goals from the defensive position. Also on the lineup here we have Carol Monroe, who has 3 goals. Actually, he's the defender who has 3 goals for the Crown City Strikers. So that's the leading goal scorer so far. They have had 2 impressive victories against the U17 and against the St. David's top strikers. And both teams are playing for the winner of the group in today's very interesting encounter. Your officials for today, we have the referee being Devon Roberts. Referee's assistant 1 is Junior Cyrus. AR2 is Clement Alexander, and the 4th official, Akim Benjamin. So definitely, Robbie, what we can say, one to look out for in this encounter is Christian Julian with 6 goals, 2 hat-tricks so far in 8 games that he has played, and a top contender for the Golden Boots in this tournament.
Definitely contender not only for the Golden Boot but for MVP. With those kind of performances, I see that Crown City striker starting Keno Alexander today. One of the notable strikers in Grenada, and pretty much young still. He's about 20 years. Matter of fact, I think he was tied for the Golden Boot in the Premier League, both himself and Jose McIntosh last season. So he's one to look at as well. Came off the bench last game, scored a goal. Probably should have scored a hat-trick off the bench, but he's here today.
So let's see what happens here. It's early stages in this encounter between these 2 top teams. And this is a group that has 4 teams actually. So in addition to the Crown City Strikers and the Western Stars, we also had the U17 and St. David's Trailblazers. Both top strikers, I beg your pardon. Both teams have already been relegated out of this tournament. But yesterday we saw them playing for academic purposes and for bragging rights, and they ended in a 2-all draw nonetheless. So coming into this tournament so far, the Crown City Strikers, they had a 7-0 drubbing of St. David's top strikers, and they also had a 4-0 win over the under-17. The Western Stars had a 5-1 win over the under-17 team, and they also had a 6-0 drubbing of St. David's top strikers. So we're going to pick up play now as it continues with the St. Patrick's top strikers in the green. Looking to attack here with a miss kick here as the Western Stars comes out with it. We expect exciting football, Robbie. These are 2 teams that have very good skilled players, very good control. St. Mark's Western Stars noted for the nice style of play, the accurate passing, and their methodical approach. And we expect a very exciting encounter.
It should be a very entertaining game today.
So Wavell Benjamin is in goal for Crown City Strikers. And should I mark for the Western Stars?
You know, one of the things that make Crown City so dangerous, though, Smithy, is that you have the likes of number 8 there, Monroe, a right fullback who has 3 goals in the tournament. So the threat is not only coming from your strikers, but it's coming even from your fullbacks.
And that's interesting.
15,
when your top
15,
goal
sorry,
scorer,
not 8, 15.
When your top goal scorer is actually a defender, it's interesting. So if the strikers really get going, the likes of Rickson Phillip and Brady Charles, you can really create some dangerous moments here for the team.
We just saw Keno Alexander being well marked off by Leon St. John.
Western Stars looking to come down the left-hand side. Searching ball here. Finds Rickson Phillip. Sorry, finds, Rickson Phillip it is. And that's Christian Julian it is. But being caught in an offside position. And the referee still goes here. But Rickson Phillip already... Christian Julian, I beg your pardon, already sending a clear indication that he's up for business today.
No, he's hungry. He's hungry. And that's all well and good from a striker. Coming on the heels of 2 hat-tricks, though be it from lesser opponents. it builds your confidence.
St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers coming into this game with a lot of confidence. Maybe what we can do is share some more information of Christian Julian and what we can tell you is that in the
Julian normally strikes for Hurricane. And as you look there, see his brother on the screen, number 17. That's Kimon Julian. Nucleus of the team actually plays for Hurricane. The Julian brothers, Leon St. John, Alexander brothers, the Augustine brothers. Here is Julian. Good clearance there by Travis Fullerton. There's a Mark brothers as well. Sawan and Shaddai, defender and goalkeeper. Karim Kutain playing rather deep today. Smithy is actually playing in the back line.
Well, I've noticed that he has, even in the last game, he was playing a defensive midfield position. And although he had a goal in the first game that he played, he's taking up a more defensive role in the two other games that he has played. So it's a clear indication that the Western Stars are going to strengthen the defense, because the U17 team did identify a number of holes, a number of gaps in the defense. As a matter of fact, they actually scored a goal against St. Mark's Western Stars. That's the only goal they've conceded in the tournament so far. So maybe knowing that, they have opted to strengthen the defense with a Karim Kutain coming back and helping out defensively. But they have a very nicely poised here for a free kick, and Moran Phillip is lined up behind this one. And let's see what the set play is for the Western Stars. Let's see what Andrew Monroe would have drilled his players to do in this dead ball situation. Moran Phillip, the only St. Mark's Western Stars player lined up behind this one. I'm doubtful whether he's go directly to goal, Robbie. I think he would chip looking for someone in the blind side. Has two or maybe three Western Stars players here. I think it was poor marking by the top strikers. Not the top strikers, but the Crown City Strikers. And maybe a little bit lucky on this occasion at the Crown City Strikers.
It's a missed opportunity there for Western Stars. But it's early in the game. We still haven't even played, 10 minutes as yet.
So Crown City Strikers would need to tighten up in the defense, because had that ball been taken cleanly by the Western Stars, it could have spelled a lot of danger here for them in the 10th minute of play in the first half. So just about 10 minutes gone, and it's still 0-0 between these two top teams in Group A. Both teams undefeated so far, but St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers enjoying a superior goal advantage. And Western Stars continue to apply the pressure here, still within the danger area. And the infringement will call against the Western Stars. But Robbie, we see already the two teams looking to settle into a nice rhythm and string some passes. They're not playing as fast as we saw some of the other teams in the tournament. And these two teams are teams with experienced players, with good composure. And we expect to have a very exciting game between these two teams.
Although the only thing about it is that both teams, their strikers, can be struggling with their first touch. But it's early.
And that is the fundamentals of the game. Your first touch ought to be good because that is what will determine what happens afterwards. And a poor first touch in many occasions for strikers would cost them goal opportunities.
Yep. Oh, it's a bit careless there by Keno Alexander.
So the Western Stars in the maroon and white, Crown City Strikers in the green and white. The referee's assistant up here for offside. I have to look out for this youngster. A lot of potential strikers, good goal scorers on the St. Mark's Western Stars team. And any napping or any sluggish play by the defense of the Crown City Strikers, they are going to pounce on that and score, I would think.
And there you had a run there by Moran Phillip. Very versatile player. A player that can fit in any hole.
Interestingly, Moran Phillip and Lemoy Augustine did not start against the U17 team last weekend.
Right. I guess it was just giving them a chance to rest their legs, preparing them for this game.
So imagine you look towards your bench and you see a Moran Phillip, a Lemoy Augustine and others. It tells you how much strength the team has to have these players coming off the bench.
Remember, the winner of this game plays the Royal Cannons and the loser plays against Big Parish Stars in the semi-finals. All 4 teams qualified already.
So it's a very interesting encounter. Both teams are playing to see who comes on top of the group. The other group, Group B, has already been decided. The Big Parish Stars are the winners of that group, and the St. George's Royal Cannons came in second. So the winner of this group here, the winner of this match here today, will be playing against the Royal Cannons, and the second place team, that's the loser of this game, will be playing against the St. Andrews Big Parish Stars. So sometimes, Robbie, when you know what the outcome of the other group is, you can actually determine who you want to play and play to suit. I'm hoping that is not the situation here today, but both teams would come out here to give their best to win the group and to take on any challenge that comes to them from the other group.
Of course, you embrace your challenges. Although I think St. Andrew Big Parish Stars will be the tougher opponent of the two.
From the games I've seen so far, Robbie, I would think that the Big Parish Stars looks maybe the best team I've seen. And then I think the St. Mark's Western Stars also look pretty decent. The only problem I see with the St. Mark's Western Stars is that they're too relaxed in defense, and you can actually penetrate the defense easy on some occasions. But other than that, the midfield and the striking power is unmatched throughout this tournament. But the Big Parish Stars, I think, is maybe the more balanced team that I've seen in the tournament so far.
Well, they're missing a few senior players, and I guess as much, it's just giving the younger ones opportunity to play. The players like Philip, God, Moran's cousin, plays in the midfield. And Langine, Dorset Langine in the back as well. Shannon Phillip.
So I would think that both teams still has not yet settled into any kind of a rhythm as they would like to at this stage. And we just over 15 minutes has gone, and it's difficult to say who is enjoying the better possession at this stage. It's still both teams having maybe fair amount of possession and still trying to settle into their own rhythm. No clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, maybe except for the St. Mark's Western Stars we saw moments ago.
The missed kick.
But other than that, there has not been any goal-mouth opportunities for either teams. None of the goalkeepers, neither Shaddai Mark nor Wavell Benjamin, been called to duties yet. And so we expect that the midfields will string some more passes together and send those very telling balls to the strikers so that they can have a goal opportunity up front.
Because Brady Charles.
As Brady Charles here, he has 2 goals in the tournament so far. He's down here, and the referee Devon Roberts makes a call for the medical team to give some attention to Charles.
It looks as if he probably got an elbow.
Robbie, Crown City Strikers been coached by Jelani Glean, and the Western Stars been coached by Andrew Monroe. Andrew Monroe is a very experienced coach. Jelani Glean, maybe not yet well known as a coach, but nonetheless has some very good players to work with this year.
Yeah, he's more known as a manager, trying to make that transition to coach. Coming up against that giant of Andrew Brother Monroe, former national player, former head coach of the senior men's team, women's team coach as well. As a youth academy in Victoria for many years now.
So the ball now with the Crown City Strikers. Looking to knock the ball from the defense through the midfield up to the strikers, but it's a long searching ball here. Looking for Smith, but it comes away with the Western Stars, and it's back now in possession with the Crown City Strikers. Crown City Strikers looking to put an attack down the right-hand side. Overweighted pass here and been cleared away by the defense for the Western Stars. A draw at the end of this encounter would mean that the Crown City Strikers would win the group, and the Western Stars would come in second. Crown City would therefore have to play against the Royal Cannons.
I'll be honest with you, Smith, as much as you spoke of St. Andrew playing the best football, I think second to them might have been the U17 in terms of structure. Sticking to a system, playing through the system, playing the attractive football that people want to see.
Well, why I didn't mention the U17 is because I thought they were not very consistent. I was seeing from their 3 games a very good play in the first half of the game. But especially in the second half, the play has really deteriorated. But from what we saw of them yesterday against St. David's top strikers, that may have been the best set of passes we've seen in the tournament so far. So Western Stars looking to push out of their own half, only being able to find the defense of the Crown City Strikers. Stephen Whiteman, the captain for the So the first yellow card been issued in the match, and it's been issued to the number 17 player for
Julian.
Western Stars. That's Kimon Julian, and he would have picked up that yellow card maybe in the 22nd minute of play. Referee Devon Roberts in a no-nonsense mood. So DeAndre Smith will take the free kick here for Crown City Strikers. Headed away by the defense for Western Stars. St. Mark's now looking to muster an attack down the right-hand side. Kimon Julian just received the yellow card, looking to find the striker who went for the acrobatic kick here, but created an infringement in the process.
That's his brother, Christian Julian.
Christian Julian may be thinking that he was within his rights there to attempt that kick. The referee is having some discussions here with some of the players of the St. Mark's Western Stars. Lemoy Augustine seems to be the culprit here. But skipper Moran Phillip right there having the conversation with the referee. In the meantime, play resumes with the St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers. Skipper Brady Charles Marshall in the defense here.
There is Stephen Whiteman. DeAndre Smith. Yeah, I think he bit of a heavy touch here, lost the ball and fouling Julian in the process.
St. Mark's looking again to put together an attack from defense. Julian. Nice pass here, looking for Phillip. Phillip still has it here. Find Julian.
Playing out to the back, playing with confidence.
But Benjamin plays it into Carol Monroe. Monroe chips it forward here, not a good pass at all. St. Mark's will look to build an attack from defense. Not very good ball control, but good win here by St. Mark's. Looking to find Julian. Finds Phillip in the process. St. Patrick's now looking to push out here.
A bit unnecessary clearance there.
So Robbie, not much we can see of either teams in this encounter so far. I think the both teams are still looking to gain the ascendancy over each other. It's even Steven, so to speak. None of the goalkeepers have really been tested. We've not seen any shots on goal so far. And it's because both teams coming in knowing that they want to win this group and maybe exerting a little bit too much and not concentrating and on attacking on goal. But here is St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers attempting to make the cross here now. But good defensive work here
by St.
John. That's Leron St. John to stifle the attack here by the Crown City Strikers. So it looks as though it's going to be a long throw by Tevin Grant.
Not really known for his long throws though, compared to like the likes of a Leon St. John of the Western Stars or a Cameron Marshall
of the Dolphins.
Yep.
Goalkeeper coming off his line and making the timely clearance here. St. Mark's looking to come forward again, looking to chip this one forward, but only been able to find the defense of the Crown City Strikers. So a lot of possession being exchanged between these two teams. The passing not very accurate. Even the control of the ball not very good. As you see Karim Kutain there being asked to do a lot of defensive work today. Helping out on defensive duties. Grant again takes the throw. A lot of hustling being done here by St. Mark's. Infringement against Crown City Strikers on Lima Julian here. Lima Augustine, I beg your pardon. Western Stars opting to go all the way back and reset play here. St. John makes the long searching pass here looking for Julian.
Moran Phillip.
Moran Phillip is the one who seems to be doing most of the attacking, playing like a number 9, Robbie.
Yep. I think he's very versatile. I mean, you remember when Moran just made the national team as a teenager? He was playing like a right full back.
Nowadays we see him in more offensive positions.
Yeah, he can play midfield, he can strike, he can still drop back in the back line. It makes you wonder if he's willing to goalkeeper as well. Very talented player. I haven't seen a string of passes from neither of the team as yet. String of probably at least 4-5 passes consistently.
Western Stars down the right hand side. Looking to put some passes together again. Not a good pass, but still comes away with it. And a cross attempted here by Kimon Julian. Wins the throw instead. Kutain has it. Can't find a man up front, opting to go back to his left defense. And that's what we expect to see from the Western Stars. Taking the time, stringing some passes together. Not a good pass on this occasion. Looking for Christian Julian, but the pass overweighted. And so it's going to be a throw-in for Crown City Strikers.
Julian has to be careful, already on a yellow card. So that he ran into the defender there.
St. John for St. Mark's Western Stars. Looking around for assistance. Having to go all the way back to goalkeeper Mark. Mark now finds St. John again. St. John being actively involved in the defensive work here for the Western Stars. So the passing, Robbie, needs to be maybe just a little bit more accurate because, I mean, on that occasion was not too much of a difficult pass to make.
Too often you see the ball being given away to the opponent or just being sent outside.
So we have not seen much goal-mouth opportunities so far in this encounter, and we're just about 30 minutes gone. None of the goalkeepers have really been tested so far. A lot of the play occurring in the middle third of the field and not really in the offensive thirds of either half. And I'm sure Coach Andrew Monroe and Coach Jelani Glean will want to have different thoughts on the approaches taken by the players so far in this game.
Good sportsmanship there by St. John and Alexander.
Referee Devon Roberts having a word again with some of the St. Mark's Western Stars players.
See Captain Philip telling him, man, forget that, let's play.
We expect, Robbie, that this game would have maybe 2 or 3 goals. We have not seen any so far. Neither have we seen opportunities by either teams to create goal scoring opportunities. But I'm sure before the end of the 90 minutes, we would have at least maybe 1 goal here.
Yep, yellow card to Tevin Grant.
So the second yellow card been issued here in the 32nd minute to Tevin Grant of the Crown City Strikers. So he would have to be very careful. A second yellow card would result in an automatic red card. And we're still in the first half. Another card, is it?
Oh, St. John is down.
St. John seems to be down. Not too sure what the injury is here. But Robbie, I think at this stage we maybe would have been expecting maybe a little bit more from either teams with some goal scoring opportunities. The two teams still, in my opinion, have not really settled into a consistent rhythm. They're still looking to gain possession, still looking to string maybe the 6, 7, 8 passes together. And none of the strikers have been fed directly. For example, a Christian Julian, who already has 6 goals in the tournament, two hat-tricks in either of the games he has played, has not really been featured so far in this game.
No, not one bit. And who do you blame? Do you blame the midfielders for not supplying them? Do you blame him as a striker for not positioning himself correctly? I mean,
I think, Robbie, what may be the situation is that Crown City strikers know of the potency of Julian and may just be keeping him out of the game through good marking and good strategy. And so once that is happening, it means that the offensive attack of the Western Stars is really nullified to that effect.
Yeah, but even the Crown City strikers, they haven't found a Rickson, Phillip, Keno Alexander. None of the attacking players have really found themselves in a dangerous position.
But bear in mind that Crown City strikers, their leading goal scorer is a defender, which is
Yes,
Monroe.
yes.
So it gives an indication that the striking power up front may not be the strongest in the tournament. They've been able to score goals with the defense and other players. But in terms of strikers, I think so far, Julian has been the most impressive striker in the tournament so far. And he's really not been featured so far in this encounter.
Could run there by Kareem Kutain. Find it hard against Travis Fullerton.
I think he lacked support too. Nobody really came to assist him, so he had to do the solo run as Crown City strikers look to come forward here, looking to make the true pass here for the striker. But good defensive work by the Western Stars.
Here the appeals for foul there. I myself, I was surprised it wasn't given. Thought it was a foul there by Julian on Rickson Phillip.
So Robbie, the expectation of this game, I think by now we would have expected either teams to register a goal, and
or at least some good shots on goal.
Yeah, Crown City strikers came in with a lot of momentum, came in with a lot of reputation as well. We've not seen them live up to that so far. St. Mark's Western Stars, we do them to be a very impressive team as well. And neither of them has really shown us really what their full potential is.
As compared to probably, let's say, Royal Cannons versus Big Pirate Stars, where it was not only about the hype, but both teams lived up to that hype. You saw competitive football, entertaining football.
maybe we just have to be a little bit more patient. Let's wait to see what the guys can produce in the later half of the first half and maybe in the second half as well. Let's see what the coaches can pull through. Unfortunately, in this game of football, there are no timeouts where the coaches can re-strategize in the middle of the half, and so they have to issue the commands from the sideline.
Julian stretched the back line there of St. Patrick. You realize that with the pass to Lemoy Augustine, it was Lemoy Morris alone being supported by on-rushing Moran Phillips. So had St. Patrick lost that one, it would have been in real trouble.
So the obvious strategy here by the St. Mark's Western Stars is to play Lemoy Augustine as the number 9 up front, and maybe have a Christian Julian coming in just behind, and a Moran Phillip looking around as well to pounce on any loose balls and to move forward with that. On the other end of the pitch, it's very difficult to determine what the strategy of the Crown City Strikers are. As we see here, St. Mark's Western Stars looking to come forward again. A feeble shot, a feeble attempt on goal here. No real challenge for goalkeeper Benjamin.
I think Crown City, they're really missing Chad Mark.
Well, a good win here by Crown City. The referee whistle goes to indicate an infringement, and I'm sure he thought he had an opportunity here. That's DeAndre Smith. Referee Devon Roberts seeing things differently. Looking for Julian, unable to control on this occasion. And if you look closely, Rob, you see that Julian is always closely marked. And I'm sure Jelani Glean would have said to his players, we're going to play a marker on Julian
Rightfully
today.
so. You can't have a striker coming in with two hat tricks and you leave them free.
Leron St. John to take
Long
the throw in for Western Stars, and that's going to be deposited directly inside of the 6-yard box. Let's look at it here now. There we go. The goalkeeper goes up and makes the timely save, anticipating this one nicely, and just gives it away back to Western Stars. So Crown City Strikers being called on defensive duties here, as the Western Stars applying some pressure at this stage of the game.
You realize most of their players that come through Julian.
An opportunity here with a feeble header from
Lemoy Augustine.
and no real danger to goalkeeper Benjamin. Western Stars coming forward again. Not a very good cross. Looking for Christian Julian. Julian been given some free space now. So just over 40 minutes gone. We have maybe 5 minutes or so left in this first half encounter between the two top teams in Group A, playing for bragging rights as to who will be the winner of this group. It's still 0-0. The Pure Grenada Cup here at the Kirini James National Stadium. St. Mark's Western Stars in the maroon against the Crown City Strikers in green. So some pressure here on St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers conceding the corner in the process. And we see skipper Moran Phillip. He will be taking this one. I'm sure Shannon and others will come forward, maybe trying to use the height advantage.
So far, the only tall man inside there is Lemoy.
Yeah, definitely.
But Shannon is out. They would have loved to have him here.
Lemoy would be an obvious target for Moran Phillip. Kick taken here now. He has go up and it's goal number 1. It's Julian, the prolific goal scorer for the Western Stars, finding the go-ahead goal here in the 43rd minute. I make it here. It's goal number 7 for Christian Julian. And again, a set play off the corner as Moran Phillip has been able to find the head of Christian Julian, Robbie.
Finding the shortest man in the field. Look at that. 4 defending there by St. Mark.
By
St. Patrick.
By Grant. Grant was the man who was marking Julian and didn't really contest with him for the ball, allowing him to contest the ball by himself. And Julian is not going to miss an opportunity like that.
No, he's not. Not based on that form he's in right now. Good finish there by Christian Julian. St. Mark 1, St. Patrick 0.
So St. Patrick's, I'm sure, would come to life now because they've thrown in 1 goal to 0. And they would want to find that equalizer. I'm sure, Robbie, the tempo would pick up a little bit now. Maybe in the second half, because we're approaching the end of the first half, maybe 2.5 minutes or so to go in the first half in regulation time. And Crown City Strikers would want to apply some more pressure and press on to see if they can find that equalizer. But the rich form of goal scoring continues for Christian Julian.
You know, and Tevin Grant is roughly the same height as Julian.
But I thought he was poor marking because he was the one actually marking Julian and never really moved the team to contest the ball here as it was lobbed over the taller defenders towards the back of the 6-yard box. And Julian said, "Here I am. That's what I wanted." Julian again looking to challenge here, but good defensive work by Crown City Strikers. That's Grant. Coutin committing the foul on this occasion. Crown City Strikers looking for support here. Support comes, but it's been fouled again by Coutin.
That was a bit soft, though. I don't know if I would have called that a foul. That was really tame.
Well, you had to be playing ball, Robbie. Once you're not playing ball and you gain the advantage or you make the contact, it can be called a foul. And I'm with the referee on this one. So a free kick for Crown City Strikers. Rickson Phillip is behind this one. A 2-man wall being constructed here. I'm sure he'll be looking for the back of the 6-yard box, the blind side, as we say. Let's see what the strategy is. Nice dead ball situation. Still Crown City Strikers. The hand goes up. Maybe a handball here. The appeal goes up. Referee.
Good attempt there by Jose McIntosh.
But an appeal was there for the handball for the penalty, Robbie. But whether or not the hand was in an unnatural position is another situation. As we look back here, you see here maybe... I mean, we may have to go to VAR for that.
Yeah. Well, good shot there by Courtney Francis.
Opportunity created by Crown City Strikers just on the verge of the first half. We look to see how much time will be added on for stoppages.
Only 1 minute.
So 1 minute will be added on for stoppages. So I would think that the both teams would go into the first half 1-0 in favor of the Western Stars. Grant takes the throw in here now. The referee whistle goes to indicate it's the end of the first half. And Robbie, from our impressions, we continue to say maybe we expected a little more, but nonetheless, St. Mark's Western Stars would go in with the momentum, having scored a late goal towards the end of the first half and having the advantage going into the dressing room.
And you know, it was the first shot on goal. You know, both keepers didn't get any opportunities before that to make a save, and the first shot on goal turned out to be a goal.
So it was a header by Christian Julian, the leading goal scorer in the tournament, in what was the, I think it was the 43rd minute of play?
Yeah, 40 seconds.
The 42nd minute of play to give the go-ahead goal to the Western Stars. So they're sitting comfortably now in the lead, but we still have at least 45 minutes to go, Robbie, and it's enough time for the Crown City Strikers to pull one back and maybe even to go forward. And they have had a very impressive run in the tournament so far, coming into this game with a superior goal difference and want to win the group stage as well.
Well, let's hope that they haven't scored all their goals in the previous games and that they still have something in the tank left, at least for a half in this game.
If I were to analyze the first half, Robbie, I thought St. Mark's Western Stars would have had the better of the game. A lot of the game was played within the half of the Crown City Strikers. The Western Stars seems very solid in defense, so too are the Crown City Strikers, but I think in the offensive area, the St. Mark's Western Stars seems to be the more potent team with the likes of Christian Julian. We also saw Limoy Augustin making some very offensive moves as well. But we're yet to identify that potent striker for the Crown City Strikers who would challenge the defense of the Western Stars and maybe create a goal opportunity for them.
I still desire to see both teams in their midfield settling a lot more. I mean, you might say that yes, St. Mark played the better half, but better might just be by a slim margin. I've yet to see anything that has really drawn my attention to say yes, that both teams have settled, playing constructive football, well-structured football. But let's see what the second half brings.
And the stats indicate that so far we've had only one save in the match so far by the Crown City Strikers. And shots on goal, only 2 shots on goal, and both shots on goal were created by the Western Stars. So it's not much action within the penalty area for either teams, but quite a number of fouls have been committed, 9 fouls so far. 2 yellow cards have been issued on either side of the pitch for both teams, and we look forward to see what both coach Andrew Monroe and Jelani Glean can muster amongst the players during the halftime. But final question to you before we take the break, Robbie. If you were either coach, what would you be saying to your teams during the halftime interval?
Well, there will be some choice words by both coaches. I don't think neither coach will be satisfied. Both coaches will be clamoring for structure and for better composure, because you have not seen these things so far, and just a better exhibit of football.
I think so, but I think Crown City Strikers with their backs against the wall now, 1-0 to 0. Jelani Glean would be wanting to pull out that magic trick in the hat, so to speak, and push his players up front some more and string some passes, maybe increase the tempo a little bit as well, and see if he can identify those gaps or holes in the defense of the St. Mark's Western Stars, and maybe take some shots too from outside of the penalty area to see if they can challenge the goalkeeper.
He needs to push up Brady Charles. Yeah, normally you have Brady Charles combining with a Chad Mark in the middle. Chad is not there. You have replaced Chad with a capable Stephen Whiteman. But then push Brady up to take so he can partner more with Stephen. I mean, too many times you see Brady almost in the back line.
So time alone will tell, Robbie. We look forward to see what the second half brings. So we urge you to stay with us wherever you are viewing this broadcast. We'll be back with more second half action in the Pure Grenada Cup at the Kirani James National Stadium. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call Generator Rental. waggy-t Rental. We rent tent
and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Chairs, plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Shivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call waggy-t Generator Rentals. We rent a wide range of generators: 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, also 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 150,000. We are located in building number 6, Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Or give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Waggy-t Generator Rentals. We are Grenada's standby power people.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, located on the Carnage, is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Are you looking for some early cash for Christmas? Yes! Then join the fun online. Play waggy-t Virtual Bingo! Because on Sunday, October 4th, from 6 p.m., you can win not 10, not 15, but a whopping $20,000 US cash! And the best part is, tickets are only $20 US. Available at gotofet.com or special box offices island-wide. And if you don't have any idea how to play, then visit our main office at Bruce Street Mall, where one of our agents will go through the process step by step. Remember, Sunday, 4th October, waggy-t Virtual Bingo is now $20,000 US. You don't want to miss this.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at waggy-t Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people. Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call waggy-t Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Shivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call waggy-t Generator Rentals. We rent a wide range of generators: 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, also 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 150,000. We are located in building number 6, Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Or give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Waggy-t Generator Rentals. We are Grenada's standby power people.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, located on the Carnage, is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Are you looking for some early cash for Christmas? Yes! Then join the fun online. Play waggy-t Virtual Bingo! Because on Sunday, October 4th, from 6 p.m., you can win not 10, not 15, but a whopping $20,000 US cash! And the best part is, tickets are only $20 US. Available at gotofet.com or special box offices island-wide. And if you don't have any idea how to play, then visit our main office at Bruce Street Mall, where one of our agents will go through the process step by step. Remember, Sunday, 4th October, waggy-t Virtual Bingo is now $20,000 US. You don't want to miss this.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at waggy-t Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people. Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call waggy-t Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even chivalry chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call waggy-t Generator Rentals. We rent a wide range of generators: 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, also 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 150,000. We are located in building number 6, Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Or give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. waggy-t Generator Rentals. We are Grenada's standby power people.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, located on the Carnage, is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Are you looking for some early cash for Christmas? Yes! Then join the fun online. Play waggy-t Virtual Bingo! Because on Sunday, October 4th, from 6 p.m., you can win not 10, not 15, but a whopping $20,000 US cash! And the best part is, tickets are only $20 US. Available at gotofet.com or special box offices island-wide. And if you don't have any idea how to play, then visit our main office at Bruce Street Mall, where one of our agents will go through the process step by step. Remember, Sunday, 4th October, waggy-t Virtual Bingo is now $20,000 US. You don't want to miss this.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at waggy-t Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people. Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call waggy-t Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even chivalry chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call waggy-t Generator Rentals. We rent a wide range of generators: 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, also 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 150,000. We are located in building number 6, Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Or give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444.
7 goals. Exclusive person have 3 goals. Your Grenada Cup. Come see a compliment. Megaforce promotion in association with Grenada Football Association, Grenada Spring Water, Pump Bank, Carrot, waggy-t Rental and Sound Company, Coca-Cola, and TDM Group.
This one asking the Warrior.
What else, guy?
If she's ready. Ready to create problems again.
Oh, God. Richie, tell us when you're ready for us.
Next week, semi-final action, 6 p.m.
Welcome back to the live action in the Partygrenada Cup at the Kirani James National Stadium. We welcome you back with the score that the St. Mark's Western Stars leads this derby here for the rights for the winner of the Group A. 1-0. A goal scored in the 43rd minute by none other than Christian Julian, the leading goal scorer in the tournament. He now takes his tally to 7. And to bring you the live commentary is none other than Robert Samuel the first and myself, Leslie Smith, as we take up second half action down field side. St. Mark's Western Stars in the maroon and the Crown City Strikers in green and white. Robbie, what do you think the coaches would have said during the halftime?
Speaking at least from the St. Patrick Crown City Strikers, for Green, certainly you'd have been hammering some words to his midfielders to get the passes to the strikers.
And your expectations? My expectations are that St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers will come out of the block in this second half, maybe with a little bit more purpose, a little bit more vitality, a little bit more aggression, because they're trailing 1-0 and will be looking for that equalizing goal to move ahead. A draw for them would mean that they would be the winner in the group and they would play against the St. George's Royal Cannons. And I think both teams may be having an eye at the St. George's Royal Cannons because they seem to be the weaker of the two teams from the other group.
Well, they are the underdogs, and they are yet to make a final in the previous 2 seasons of this tournament, but they are not to be underestimated.
On the other hand, the Western Stars will look to consolidate the 1-goal lead that they have and still look towards a Christian Julian or maybe a Lemoy Augustine to see if they can find a second cushion goal here to seal the victory for them. But I'm sure the likes of Jelani Glean and the others from the St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers would have other intentions as well. So his second half action is just started. And let's see what the Crown City Stars would have in the lineup here to counter the Western Stars, who lead this one 1-0. So already we've seen some pressure being exerted here by the Crown City Strikers. Whether or not they can convert that into goal scoring opportunities. Shot comes in low and wide. And the timely save here, not really contesting the goal, but the referee's assistant indicates it's a corner. Goalkeeper Shaddai Mark not in agreement with the call here, and I think he's rightfully so too, Robbie. From our vantage point, the ball didn't seem to have gone into the touch, and maybe it's just an error here by the referee's assistant on this occasion. Corner taken. Crown City Striker still has it. Looking for support, finds support now. Maybe they will have to go back. Still looking to move down the right hand side there. The cross comes in, but good clearance here by the Western Stars. Crown City Strikers looking to come to that blind side here. Looking for that one touch shot here, but not a good one by DeAndre Smith. And maybe on his weaker left foot as well, Robbie, but a good striker would relish that opportunity for the volley.
But good intent there being shown by St. Patrick. It's probably the best play of the game so far for them. Nice combination play. Players showing some patience, showing some connections.
Well, in the early stages of the second half, it is definitely the Crown City Strikers who are enjoying the moments here. St. Mark's Western Stars been called to defensive duties so far in this second half. Goalkeeper Shaddai Mark been very busy in the second half so far.
Oh gosh.
Crown City Strikers looking to come through the right hand side again here. But good defensive work here by St. John to close the gap down quickly. Karim Kutain gets past his man nicely here. Still has it, is Kutain. Looking around for support. Not much support for him. Goes back into Philip. And St. Mark's will reset play. Making the long searching pass here, not a good one, not even a Christian Julian in sight here. I'm wondering what the intention was here by the defender. It just gave the ball away maybe aimlessly as well. I think both teams would be well advised to maybe string some passes together, start from the back, walk through the midfield, look for the strikers, rather than trying to play that long, searching, looping ball overhead. Good move here, but given away to the Crown City strikers. Crown City strikers here now would look to put some numbers up front to find that equalizing goal, and they have good possession at this time. That's Rickson Phillip losing the ball in the process. Maybe trying to do too much with it is Rickson.
And Rickson is always going to get a hard time coming up against McElganis.
Both coaches off the bench into the technical zone and shouting the commands.
Just saw Keno Alexander there in the picture. Not having the best of games so far. To be a very deadly striker, once settled. Already played 15 minutes and he's yet to settle. Probably Coach Green might be looking for a replacement for him.
But I like what I see so far from Crown City strikers. The intention is very clear to gain as much possession of the ball as possible, to string some passes together, and to see if they can puncture the defense of the St. Mark's Western Stars. The only problem I see with them is that they do not have enough numbers committed up front.
Yes.
There's a very strong back line up with maybe 4 or 5 defense for St. Mark's Western Stars, and sometimes you see 1 or 2 strikers for Crown City strikers. So they need to push some more numbers up front, I would think.
They need the support. Too much of that long ball still. You see it a lot from the fullbacks, from Fullerton and from Grant. Find the midfielders. Get the ball to Courtney Francis, to Brady Charles, to Stephen Whiteman. I can't emphasize.
Opportunity here for St. Mark's to go 2 goals up.
Good save.
Still there, there's still opportunity, and scores.
It's like Ryan Alexander.
And that's Ryan Alexander who finds the second goal for St. Mark's Western Stars. And it's going to be a deep hole for St. Patrick's Crown City strikers to come out of. Some defensive blunder here. Too much opportunity has been given to Western Stars, and they convert their opportunities. The few opportunities they've had, Robbie, they've converted them. So Christian Julian found the first one, and now we have Ryan Alexander finding the second goal in what looks like would have been the 53rd minute of play. 2-0 in favor of St. Mark's Western Stars. The shoulders begin to droop already, it seems, for the St. Patrick's Crown City strikers. There's nothing to be too concerned about. They already booked the place into the semi-final stage. I think what they're trying to avoid maybe is to be coming up against the big parish stars. Both teams would want to win this group stage so that they can get maybe the Royal Cannons of St. George's to play against.
Yeah, I think both teams are aiming for that. But as I said, the Royal Cannons are not to be underestimated. It's a bit disappointing from a St. Patrick standpoint. They haven't conceded a goal in the 2 previous games, and look, they already conceded 2 here.
And maybe it's a goal against the run of play because they were enjoying maybe most of the possession in the second half so far. But again, the defense maybe never tested in the tournament so far, and having been tested today, Some holes have been identified.
Has been left wanting.
And they have been left wanted, so to speak, Robbie. So 2-0 in favor of Crown City Western Stars, deservedly so as well. And obviously on the score sheet is Christian Julian. He had the first one in the first half. As they come forward again on the right-hand side, the cross comes in, but the goalkeeper is right there. That's goalkeeper Wavell Benjamin for Crown City Strikers. Interestingly, Joe Max Wildman on the bench.
So that's another area of concern. That without your starting goalkeeper, you're conceding goals.
Interesting to know maybe the reason for Joe Max on the bench, maybe an injury of some sort.
I don't think so. I think it's because he's there on the bench. I think it's just a matter of giving some minutes to Wavell. Wavell is a capable goalkeeper, just left exposed there by his back line.
Crown City Strikers still with some possession in the middle of the field. Not very good ball control here by Crown City Strikers. And so St. Mark's Western Stars comes away with it. St. John. Pillar of rock in the defense here for the Western Stars. They're going to take the time about it now with a 2-goal cushion. And they're going to beckon for St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers to come forward.
Ball was played out. I don't think there's a player down. Yeah, there's a player down. And there's going to be a double substitution also for St. Patrick. Number 9.
I think that is timely to Robbie because they really need some fresh ideas, some fresh legs, and to offer something different to the Western Stars. So the first substitution, player number 19 comes off. That's Kino Alexander.
Yep.
And player number 24, that's Tyler Lewis, goes on. And the second substitution, Veron Charles would enter, and the player coming off would be Travis Fullerton.
2 good substitutions. I think both players that went out, they were yet to settle.
Just to remind you that both teams are allowed 5 substitutions in this tournament, and they have 3 opportunities to do so.
Yes. So hence you see a lot of double substitutions and even triple. See, Courtney Francis just going for some medical attention. Hope it's nothing too serious.
So the action resumes here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium between the Crown City Strikers and the St. Mark's Western Stars. 2-0 in favor of the Western Stars. Neither of these 2 teams have lost any game in this tournament so far. They both sit currently on 6 points with a slightly superior goal advantage to the Crown City Strikers.
Well, they have lost that right now. So far. They're at +9. And St. Mark is at +12.
So Robbie, maybe in this COVID times, I think, the ardent football fans must be appreciative that football is coming to them wherever they are, and they must be grateful and appreciative for that.
It must be.
Especially in these turbulent and tried times now with the COVID pandemic. And so we expect that the fans who are unable to come on down to the stadium must be very appreciative that the GFA and TNR Communications are able to bring football to them wherever they are throughout the world on their mobile devices, their personal computers, etc. Live action here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium.
And you see it all over the world. I mean, whether it's European leagues or the leagues in Asia, wherever, it's online.
We actually live in a sort of a virtual world now, Robbie. And somebody was making a remark to me earlier on, some of the things that maybe should be virtual as well, you know. It's quite interesting what they're thinking. But it's good that the GFA has the vision and the initiative to still stage their competitions and to be able to bring it to their supporters of football who are unable to come here for obvious reasons, so that they can still see their teams in action and still shout for the teams and root for the teams and enjoy this Sunday evening.
Another substitution is Juan Batiste, number 10.
I think maybe that might just be the substitution that the Crown City strikers needed to make. We know Juan Batiste in the past would have been a very potent striker. I mean, he has lost some of that form in recent times, but his sheer presence on the pitch can make a difference, I would think.
He came on there for the injured Courtney Francis, so it was Courtney Francis unable to continue.
Juan Batiste maybe 3-4 years ago, Robbie, would have been an obvious starter on this team.
Yes. His brother is not in the squad tonight. That's Levi Batiste. Previously started in both previous games.
Let's see if those substitutions would make a marked difference here for Crown City strikers. They really need to find some striking power. They're trailing 2 goals down, and it's a situation where they have to give all. They definitely can't lose twice, and so all of the offensive opportunities will have to be put on the table here. And so Coach Delaney Glean looking at his options on the bench and making the substitutions early enough to allow the players to get some time in to get accustomed and to acclimatize, so to speak, to look to that, to see if they can find the goal and equalize and maybe then move forward. Fresh legs up front always makes a difference. Here we see some hustling here by the striker.
Yeah, but it's still not enough, you know. It's more like Rickson Phillip is playing for the foul rather than trying to win the ball. He's going on for the slightest touch. You're not in the box. You're not any trouble in the area.
Western Stars coming forward again on the left-hand side. Good defensive work here by
Charles.
Brady Charles. Brady Charles, skipper in the team here this evening, doing a remarkable job as well in defense. You can see a lot more hustle now by Crown City strikers, and maybe they needed to do that from the onset in the first half. But they're giving it all they've got. St. Mark's Western Stars still resolute in defense, still very strong in defense. Allowing St. Mark's to reset and to recompose themselves. Not being pressured on this occasion in defense. We need to see some more numbers up front for Crown City strikers. I'm not too sure what the instructions are from Coach Jelani Glean, but if you need to score, if you're 2 goals down, you need to have players up. You need to be able to, when that ball is sent forward, there need to be players up there who can receive.
Not only that, I think my biggest problem, as I said, is the midfielders. St. Patrick, they are really missing Chad Mark, someone who knows how to really control the tempo of the game. And he normally has that really good combination with the likes of a Brady Charles. We're not even seeing who's not in the squad as well as Leon Braveboy, another attacking midfielder who could change the game. They have made a lot of changes to their squad. I guess it's just to expose players.
Maybe the thinking is that we have already qualified for the second round, so we give some opportunities to other players. But I think what they should also be given consideration to is who the winner of the group would come up against and who the second place team would come up against. An opportunity here for Western Stars, but some strong defensive work here by the Crown City Strikers. The referee whistle goes to indicate an infringement against St. Mark's Western Stars, and St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers would breathe a sigh of relief knowing that the danger has been averted. But here comes St. Mark's Western Stars again with numbers 2. The shot comes in, but goalkeeper Wavell Benjamin is equal to the task and makes the very easy and timely save to avert any danger for his team.
Let's be honest, I don't think any of the 4 semi-finals will be afraid of each other, and I don't think any coach would underestimate any opposing coach or team. If you make it to the semi-finals, then you're deserving of your position, and you should be respected. There will be no easy run to the final.
Robbie, well, that may be so, but from the play that we've seen in the preliminary stages, in my honest opinion, as I said earlier, I think the better playing team in the tournament so far has been the Big Parish Stars. And so if I'm on the other end, in the other group, and I've looked at the St. George's Cannons as well, the inability to score, the inability to string passes together, they would be my preferred opponent going into the second round of the tournament.
But they haven't conceded much. They've only conceded 2 goals in their 2 games, and they have scored 3. So as much as they may concede that 1 goal, they are going to score that equalizer. As I said, I mean, you get to semi-final, you are going to step up. As it is right now, if everything remains as is, you would see St. Mark against the Royal Cannon, and St. Patrick versus St. Andrew Big Parish Stars.
Either way, it's going to be exciting football. It's going to be well anticipated, and hopefully when we come back here next weekend, it's going to be more live and exciting football in the Pure Grenada Cup. So you're not missing any play at the moment. Player down, been given some medical attention here. And that's St. John for the St. Mark's Western Stars.
Western Stars are yet to make a sub. On the bench, we have Shamari Mark, De Silva, Siobhan Baptiste, Jalen Young, Roland George, Raquel Augustine, and second choice keeper Welch. Raquel Augustine is another option on top, a striking option. We have a substitution now for St. Mark. 4 substitutes.
Interestingly, we were just mentioning that a quadruple substitution here, and the coach Andrew Monroe, really want to make a statement here. So Ryan Alexander, who scored the goal in the 53rd minute, he comes out. It's difficult for us to follow all of the substitutions as they occur, Robbie. But I can tell you, Shamari Mark will be going in. Shem De Silva would also be going in. And also coming out is Ryan Alexander. So 4 players been substituted here by Andrew Monroe. So it's almost a fresh look here for St. Patrick's to contend with. But some sloppy work in defense here by St. Mark's Western Stars. Danger still not yet averted. Now maybe so it's done. As maybe too much of a relaxed moment here for the defense, and giving away the ball inside of the penalty area. Nonetheless, they were able to recover quickly and to prevent any goal scoring opportunity.
So I can tell you the 4 players that came in. So number 6, Raquel Augustine. Number 21, Shamari Mark. Number 20, Shem De Silva. And number 15, Jalen Young.
We know for a fact that Ryan Alexander, he went out.
Yes, and his brother Ryan as well.
Ryan also went out, the goal scorer of the second goal.
Leon St. John as well went out.
So with just about 20 minutes, just about 21 minutes left in play, 4 substitutions been made here by St. Mark's Western Stars. Fresh legs in here, opportunity on goal here, but good defensive work here by The defense for the St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers. Danger was looking right around the corner. Timely clearance indeed. Test of strength here for Rickel Augustin. Fresh legs of Rickel Augustin. A new challenge for the defense of the Crown City Strikers. Moran Phillip lines up behind this one. And from the setup inside of the penalty area, Robbie, it seems as though that one will be directed towards the back of the 6-yard box. The heads go up, and it's been cleared away and won by the St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers.
I think that the fourth substitute, Smithy, was Lemoy Augustin. So brother for brother, Lemoy out and Rickel in. So Lemoy Augustin out, Ryan Alexander out, Rael Alexander out, and Leon St. John out. Were the 4 players that got substituted for Rickel Augustin. Shem De Silva, Jalen Young, and Shamari Ma came in.
So interesting move here by Andrew Monroe with all of those substitutions, and I think it really offers something totally different for Crown City Strikers to contend with. Julian here still has it inside of the penalty area, crosses it now, but good defensive work by Crown City Strikers. But a good move down the right hand side here by Christian Julian.
Julian, as I said before, is not only a contender for MVP, for Golden Boot, but also for MVP.
That's Julian here with the ball. Has 2 players here been fouled in the process. So a very elusive player, not been able to be contained by the Crown City Strikers. Western Stars enjoying a fair amount of possession. I think the 4 substitutions so far, Robbie, seems to be working for Coach Andrew Monroe.
And normally when you see so many subs made, it throws the chemistry off a bit.
Especially if your bench is not that strong. But I made the comment earlier on that in the second game that the Western Stars played against the U17, the likes of Lemoy Augustin, Shannon Phillip, or Shamari Mark is not here. You know, there were a number of these players who were on bench. So they really gave an opportunity for the quote-unquote bench players to get a first start and to see what they have. So the bench now, that the players who are now on the field would have had some experience in playing this tournament already.
Well, St. Mark will go into the semi-final as the biggest threat. The only team to have not lost a game, or the only team to have not even dropped a point.
That's right.
Because both St. Andrew and Royal Cannons, they're also unbeaten, but they have dropped points while dropping against each other. So the team to look out for is the Western Stars.
Crown City Strikers would want to find at least a consolidated goal here, a goal of some consolidation. They're in possession of the ball now. Looking to play the 1-2 here. The shot comes in. Not a particularly good one. But they're going to try everything they can at this stage of the game.
You know, one thing that makes it easier for the Western Stars, Smithy, they only have 2 clubs in St. Mark, and both of them being based in Victoria.
And it's quite contrary to what is happening in St. Patrick's.
Yep.
I think St. Patrick's is
6.
the parish that has the most teams in the Premier League, as a matter of fact.
That's right. And I mean, they come from varying areas, you know, whether it's Shantimel, Satez, Ramasali, Mount Rich, So it's another challenge for Coach Green to get all these players from so far apart to come together to train and to get well coordinated and to perfect that chemistry. It's a challenge.
So it's a plus for St. Patrick's, who have so many teams in the Premier League, but it's a challenge for the coach now to coordinate all of these players from different teams and different clubs and different villages to put a unit together. So far it has worked in the 2 games they've played, but it's really been tested here tonight, and St. Mark's Western Stars coming out on the better end of the challenge. Christian Julian it is now, has one man to contend with. Crisscrosses nicely here, looking for support, find some support now. Interesting that Christian Julian is playing a sort of a right wing position now, Robbie, not really in the danger zone.
Well, I think he's given room for, based on the coach instruction, for Ricky Lagustin to come through that center channel. It's another substitution. Final one for both teams. You want to see
So Roland George it is, will be going in for the Western Stars. And from the looks of it, Crown City Strikers would make a double substitution as well. And it looks as though it's Garnis who comes out for the Western Stars.
Left back for left back. You know, both Michael Garnis and Roland George have the experience in playing for national team. Roland George is actually the brother of both Real and Ryan Alexander.
So just under 15 minutes left, Coach Andrew Monroe opting to make his final substitution, and from all indications, Coach Jelani Glean will also make a double substitution, which would be his final substitutions as well.
Yes. With their father, Real, Ryan, and Roland, their father is Rampa Forsyth.
Well, we can reminisce on the prowess of Rampa Forsyth as a striker for Grenada, Robbie.
Yep, beautiful, smooth, skillful, talented. See his legacy continuing with his sons.
And maybe if we get maybe 50% of a Rampa Forsyth from either of them today, it will be curtains call for St. Mark's, from St. Mark's Western Stars.
Yep. And I love to see Rampa. And from Rampa you got Ricky Morris. Same kind of player.
So the final substitution's been made by the Crown City Strikers. As we see Grant coming off. And also making an appearance is Stefan St. John, number 13. Is about to enter. And he will be replacing Rickson Phillip. So both teams have used up their on-field substitutions. Crown City Strikers looking to penetrate the very strong defensive lineup of the Western Stars. And quite frankly, Robbie, Shaddai Mark haven't really been called for service in this entire game so far.
He hasn't been tested.
Crown City strikers, maybe in more recent times. Demron Daniel,
Yes.
Juan Batiste in its glory days.
Cade Wellington.
Another opportunity here created by the Western Stars. Looking to find
Julian.
Christian Julian again. And maybe the pass just a little bit too far ahead to prevent Julian from pouncing on this one to get his second goal in this match and to go 8 up in the tournament. So Christian Julian Robbie has scored in every game he has played in this tournament so far.
Every single game.
The only player to have done that, as a matter of fact.
Well, Darren Mudu also scored in both games that he played. And Kwesi Theodore also scored in both games.
I think also the skipper for the under-17 team
Yes.
scored in 2 of the 3 games that,
Right.
that they've played as well. And that's Clark. Kishan Clark for the U17. He scored twice. So more pressure being applied here by the Western Stars. The left-hand side this time. They are up in numbers as well.
Yes.
This could spell danger here. The shot comes in, it ricochets off the defender, and that should be a corner. Indeed, it's a corner for the Western Stars. So that's what happens when you try to find that equalizing goal, Robbie, that you send so many players up front that sometimes they have difficulty in recovering.
Yes.
And then you
Yes.
create all these big gaps in defense, and that was a clear case of that when St. Mark's Western Stars were coming forward in large numbers and really outnumbered the St. Patrick's Crown City Stars strikers on that occasion.
And it was a good attempt there by Karim Kutain. Well defended though by the Crown City strikers.
So not a particularly good corner taken here.
You realize, Smithy, that St. Mark are still not satisfied with having a two goal lead. They are still searching for more goals.
Yeah, and that's very positive football.
Yes.
I mean, another team might have settled to play for a more defensive approach with just under 10 minutes left in the game, but they're still looking for a third goal. And they're looking even more aggressive to find a goal than the Crown City strikers.
Juan Batiste with the elbow there.
Juan Batiste picking up the yellow card, the third card issued today. And Juan Batiste coming off the bench. And maybe that's the biggest feature we see for him in the game so far.
Yellow card in the 82nd minute.
Still not too satisfied is Juan Batiste.
That's Juan.
Always has a little extra to say to the referee. Let's see, another opportunity can be created from this one here. Chipped forward here, the heads go up. It's been defended, the volley comes in here. Goalkeeper fumbles but recovers quickly and makes the long clearance, only to find goalkeeper Mark.
That shot, they look like Karim Kutain again.
And Mark is going to take his time here. He has time on his side. His team is leading 2-0. St. Mark's Western Stars still enjoying a lot of possession with a 2-goal lead. It's going to be another corner for the Western Stars.
There is Monroe of St. Patrick. He didn't get a chance to come forward at one bit tonight, Smithy.
And Monroe has 3 goals in this competition. He's a defensive player, but one of the leading goal scorers for the Crown City Strikers. but having to remain in the defensive area because of so much pressure being applied by the Western
Not
Stars.
only that, he played him more or less. The coach Glean played him more or less in a centre back position rather than playing on the flank.
There's a beckoning call here from the fans of the Crown City Strikers, looking to see if they can get at least one goal to impress the score sheets here. St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers, again, not moving forward with those kind of numbers that can really challenge the defensive lineup of the Western Stars. So Robbie, just about 5 minutes left in regulation time. From the looks of it, it's a very difficult situation for the Crown City Strikers, and it'd be nice if they can get one to pull one back. But from where we sit here now, the situation is that they will very well have to conceive defeat on this occasion.
You would see a different game in the semi-final because you would have the likes of a Chad Mark, Leon Braveboy. They would be returning to the starting 11, so that would change things a lot. Lister James, there are a few players who normally start who are not even in the squad today. So it's hard to say that's what it's going to look in the semi-finals. They're going to come stronger.
So Brady Charles is going to take the corner here to give an opportunity to the Crown City Strikers, and not a particularly good corner, and it's going to be a strong counter attack here, but good work here in the midfield for the Crown City Strikers. Again, a long searching ball looking for Brady Charles, unable to find him. Jelani Glean continuing to issue the instructions and the commands from the touchline. Time is not on his side, with under 5 minutes left in regulation time.
St. Patrick really missed the likes of a Toko Daniel tonight. A player who could really disturb it. Whether he scores or not, he would always give trouble to the back line and create opportunities for the other strikers around him.
He's not featured in the lineup here for the Crown City Strikers.
He's not in the squad. Him and even Arcade Wellington. But so far they have made to the semi-finals without them, so let's see if they can move on to the final and even win eventually.
Well, St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers still has an opportunity to make it to the finals, because remember, they'll be going into the semi-final stage, and from the looks of it, they'll be coming up against the Big Parish Stars.
Yes.
And if they win that game, they will go to the finals. So it's not all lost, it's not all doom and gloom for them. They have an opportunity to regroup. Coach Jelani Glean, as the coaches always say, they will go back to the drawing board. I'm yet to see what this drawing board looks like, but all coaches all over the world references this drawing board.
Well, he played a lot of reserve players and players that spend most time on the bench. So it's good for him that he can get a chance to see them now, so that he will have a better idea going into the semi-finals of the kind of depth that he has and the players that he can count on outside of the starting 11 players.
So both teams in this encounter here have already qualified for the semi-final stage, and they're basically playing to see who they would come up against from the other group. The other two teams qualifying from the other group are the Big Parish Stars and the Royal Cannons of St. George's.
That's a rush shot there by De Silva.
An attack here coming forward is the
Good pass there by Mark.
Western Stars. Still danger not yet averted, and what a miss here, but good goalkeeping I would think here, Robbie, by Wavell Benjamin, coming off his line and making himself big.
He has been wonderful tonight. Just been let down by his back line. Both goals that he conceded were defensive errors.
There we see him coming off his line here and making the good save, and then closing down the striker on the line to preventing goal number 3 for the Western Stars. So we're just about coming to the end of regulation time, Robbie, and it doesn't seem as though St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers will be able to find those 2 goals to level the score here. So, and the St. Mark's Western Stars continue to apply the pressure and looking to find a 3rd goal as well.
3 minutes added on time.
So we're down to the final 3 minutes of this encounter for the winners of Group A.
Realize now that Brady Charles is playing high up the field.
Maybe a move made just a bit too late, as Western Stars still enjoying a fair amount of possession in the second half, even though they are 2 goals up. And I'm not sure what the coach is thinking, but I'm the coach of the Western Stars. All I'll be saying to my players, let's play possession football.
Yep.
Let's keep the ball, let's string passes together, let's gain some confidence, let's leave this match with good momentum and take it to the semi-final stage.
And avoid injuries, because you know sometimes in this late stage you still have aggressors trying to hurt players for no apparent reason.
So corner for the Western Stars. We saw a goal coming from a corner in the first half. Christian Julian. Combination between, I think it was Moran Phillip and Christian Julian.
Yeah, and well, he doesn't have to be marked right now by Tevin Grant. He now has Tyler Lewis marking him.
Let's see what happens on this. And he looks for him again.
Again, he's free.
Uncontested again is Christian Julian. And maybe had he had a little more height, could have created some danger here for the back line of the Crown City Strikers. Nice takedown here. Looking for the left foot, goes back to the right foot, still has it. The shot comes in, but it's wide of the upright. I think it was a good move. He favored the right foot, Robbie.
Yeah, that's Rikel Augustine.
And he was able to get it onto the right foot. It's just that the shot was not well directed, and so he went into the side netting.
Oh, buddy. Hard touch there. Poor first touch there by the number 12 of St. Patrick.
That's Mark McQueen. McQueen, again, we made a comment, and that's a perennial problem we see with strikers in Grenada. At first touch, that controlling touch, you know. So a lot of the strikers have a good shot. In some cases, they have good dribbling skills. But the controlling touch.
Nice long pass to him, connecting with him, but first touch let him down.
And it would have been a 1v1 with the goalkeeper had he had a better first touch.
That's right.
So play has been held up here for a moment. Player of the St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers down, been given some medical attention.
It's like Stephen Whiteman.
So Whiteman is up. It's the Pure Grenada Cup here. We come into the final group stage, coming to the end of the final group stage match between 2 powerhouses, the St. Mark's Western Stars and the Crown City Strikers. Both teams coming into this game undefeated in the tournament so far. And from the looks of it, the Crown City Strikers would have their first defeat of the tournament. The St. Mark's Western Stars would maintain their undefeated run. Is the final whistle to indicate the end of the game. A victory for the St. Mark's Western Stars, 2-0. The first goal scored by Christian Julian and the second by Ryan Alexander in the 53rd minute. 2-1. So it means, Robbie, that the Western Stars will come up against the St. George's Royal Cannons and the Crown City Strikers will come up against the winner of Group B, the St. Andrews Big Parish Masters. What do you make of those two lineups?
Oh man, it's two tough games to call. Too difficult. I mean, and you keep on saying that St. George will be the week of the 14, but I'm still sticking to my guns, not the Cannons. I'm sticking to my guns that they are not to be underestimated. I'm looking forward to the clash between St. Mark versus St. George. I'm looking forward to the St. Andrew St. Patrick game. Too tough to call to say who might win because it's on the night, and you see, especially with St. Patrick resting so many of their players, what would they look like with the return of a Brave Boy, a Chad Mark, Joe Max Wildman, the inclusion of so many players. What will St. Andrew look like? So let's see.
Well, either way you look at it, semi-finals with 4 teams. These are supposed to be the top 4 teams in the tournament, and I believe these are indeed the top 4 teams in the tournament. So whoever comes up against each other, they're expected to get a challenge. But if I was Coach Andrew Monroe, I would sit more comfortably tonight, knowing that I'm coming up against the Cannons, having seen their play through the tournament. Nonetheless, it's a game where every team has to bring their A game. All the players have to show up. They have to perform. And it's all played on neutral ground, so to speak. And so everybody has equal opportunity
chance
to deliver on the day.
I know if I was in the back line of the Cannons, I'll be fearful of a Christian Julian.
Yeah, with 7 goals in the tournament, he is the most prolific goal scorer in the tournament this year. And looking dangerously, been sort of controlled today by the St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers, in the sense that he was not very much involved in a lot of the offensive play, but timely so to be able to find that goal to send his team 1 goal up in the tournament. So if you look at the saves in the second half, 1 save by the Crown City Strikers, none by the Western Stars. Equal amount of fouls been committed by either teams, more corner kicks for the Western Stars, and more shots on goal, again, by the Western Stars. The scoreline, 2-0 in favor of the Western Stars. We look forward in great anticipation, Robbie, to the semi-final round next weekend, and so we encourage you viewers to join us again next week for more live action in the semi-final round. And Robbie, maybe your final thoughts before we close off the broadcast tonight.
Good football is still always appreciated. As you said, in these COVID times, it's even more appreciated because more sports are not even being allowed to play. So for the football fans out there, they must appreciate having a chance to look at local football, not necessarily a club football, but you are seeing local football. In terms of tonight, a player of the game, I would say probably Moran Phillip. He had a really good game tonight. I think he really dictated the pace of the game. Really made that strong connection, not only to the strikers but to the defenders. And he was indeed my man of the match for today.
Well, Robbie, I would have to agree with you. I'm also thinking that Moran Phillip been involved in the offensive area, the defensive area, the midfield, giving good service to the strikers, and even creating goal-scoring opportunities. He would also be my player of the match. So we want to leave you with the final score for tonight's encounter in the final game of the group stage between the Crown City Strikers from St. Patrick's and the Western Stars from St. Mark's. It's 2-0 in favor of the Western Stars. They're the winner of the group, and they'll come up against the St. George's Royal Cannons next week. And likewise, the St. Patrick's Crown City Strikers will come up against the winner of Group B, that's the Big Parish Stars. So we ask you and we encourage you to join us again next week. On behalf of Robert Samuel I, I'm Leslie Smith, and on behalf of the entire broadcast team, Richie Olivier, our executive director, Nazim Benjamin, Cullen, and the entire crew, we wish you farewell and enjoyable Sunday evening, and join us again next week.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents?
Is now
Then
open
call
daily
the
from
tent
10 a.m.
experts
Over
at
40 of your
waggy-t tent
favorite
rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes. From as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people. Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call waggy-t Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Are you looking for generators to rent? Then call waggy-t Generator Rentals. We rent a wide range of generators: 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, also 20,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 150,000. We are located in building number 6, Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. Or give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Waggy-t Generator Rentals. We are Grenada's standby power people.
Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, located on the Carnage, is now open daily from 10 a.m. Over 40 of your favorite slot games in a spacious and comfortable atmosphere. We're also open on Sundays from 12 noon, so check us out. Goldfish Slots and Pool Center, where winning is easy. Remember, patrons must adhere to all safety protocols.
Are you looking for some early cash for Christmas? Yes! Then join the fun online. Play waggy-t Virtual Bingo! Because on Sunday, October 4th, from 6 p.m., you can win not 10, not 15, but a whopping $20,000 US cash! And the best part is, tickets are only $20 US. Available at gotofet.com or special box offices island-wide. And if you don't have any idea how to play, then visit our main office at Bruce Street Mall, where one of our agents will go through the process step by step. Remember, Sunday, 4th October, waggy-t Virtual Bingo is now $20,000 US. You don't want to miss this.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at waggy-t Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes. From as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grenada, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people. Are you looking to rent